Give up. If you're over 20, 30, 40, or 50, and you want to be a nurse, just give up on it. It's not going to happen. You're too old. Your brain function is too slow. You just simply can't do it. You can't be a nurse. You just can't do it. Just give up. Give up.
You can live pretty well by yourself.
What's good, YouTube? It's your man CJ Kyles checking in once again, back with another video. First thing I want to say is Happy New Year to all the 60-hour gang in the building. Leave 2022 behind. Let's make 2023 the best year we've ever had. Now, ladies and gentlemen, as you just saw, if you're older than 20, if you're older than 30, 40, if you're older than 50, 60, and you want to be a nurse and your dream is to don the scrubs and put on the stethoscope and work with people, help people get better. If that's your dream and you're over the age of 20, I'm sorry, it's over. Forget about it. You're done. Go settle at McDonald's somewhere. Not that there's anything wrong with McDonald's, but just go there. Now y'all know that's ridiculous, right? I mean, y'all have to know that's nonsense because it's just stupid. It's really stupid. And it's funny because I get emails like this all the time from people who are in their 30s, 40s, 50s, and even 60s. And they're like, I'm too old. I feel like I'm too old. I feel like, you know what I'm saying? I can't be a nurse. I feel like I don't have what it takes just because I'm older. And I just think that's purely nonsense. But I do like to be transparent on this channel. So what I'm going to do, and first of all, before I even go to this whole big spiel, I'm just going to say it now. You're not too old to be a nurse. I've done videos on this topic before, but since it's 2023 and people still want to know, people are still unsure, how about I just give you another one? You're not too old to be a nurse. My classic answer is, are you too old to pay a bill? Are you too old to pay rent? Has your apartment complex or has the people that you ever paid your mortgage to ever called you and said, well, you know what? You're 51 years old. You're old. We don't want your rent this month. We don't want your car note this month because you're 55. We don't want your phone bill because you're 40. It's not going to happen. It does not matter how old you are. As long as you can perform the job and do it on an adequate scale, then as far as I'm concerned, you're right to be a nurse. But again, just like I was saying, I do want to be transparent though. If you are an older person and you're thinking about going back to nursing school, I want to give you some of the pros and some of the cons of going back to school as an older individual. Transparency is key. I'm never gonna lie to y'all. I'm always gonna keep it a buck with y'all. I've never went into this much detail before, so that's why I felt it was very important for me to do it just like this. So let's get into it. So of course I'm gonna start off with the cons, and we're gonna get right into it. Con number one: you've been out of school a long time. If you're a person that's been out of school 5, 10, 15, even 20 plus years, it can be a bit of an adjustment. Some things have changed since you were in school versus now. Technology is different. A lot of things is based on a computer. A lot of stuff is electronic. It just might be a little different, and that can cause a bit of a challenge for somebody who is older wanting to get back into school. So be aware of that. If you are an older person that wants to go back into school and you've been out of school for 5, 10, 15, even 20 plus years. On top of that, some of the common questions are probably going to be, how do I study? I mean, let's just keep it real. You haven't had to study in a long time. This might be a second career for you. You might be used to doing one thing one way, and now you're coming into a whole different world. So some of the common questions one common question that you may have is, how do I study for this particular assignment, for this particular topic? And that is something that you also have to be aware of going to school as an older person. Now, question number two you might have: what supplies do I need? What do I gotta get? Where do I go to get this? Where do I gotta go to get that? You just may be out of the loop, right? So that's another thing you must consider with going back to school as an older person. Nothing crazy, but it's still something that you should think about and keep in the back of your mind, but you shouldn't let it be a hindrance to you. Now, con number two with being an older person going back to nursing school. Con number 2, it can simply disrupt your lifestyle. You're grown. You may have a family. You may have grandchildren. You may be used to a certain way of living. And when you're going back to school as somebody who is older, you have different things in your way. You have different challenges versus someone who is going fresh out of high school right into the game. You know what I'm saying? You may have a routine with your kids, with your husband, with your wife, with your family, with how you do things and how it runs your household. When you're going back to school as a nurse, things change. You have to make adjustments. You have to get on some type of routine, some type of schedule. It can cause some disruption in your already set up lifestyle. Now, I'm a big solutions person. So, to me, the solution to the first kind is simply getting back into the rhythm. I feel like school is just like riding a bike. You really truly never forget to ride a bike. So once you get back in school, you slowly start to get to the rhythm of things again, and then things just go from there. It shouldn't really be a huge adjustment, but it may take you some time to get back into the rhythm of things, and that's okay. Maybe start off by going to a community college and taking some of those classes that you need, or you can get back into a private college, and I'll make a whole nother video on community versus private. Actually, I think I did make a video on that. So just start at your pace, and one thing that you must remember, this is a marathon, not a sprint. This takes time. Now, when you do get into those advanced classes, or if you do get into a program that is accelerated, you do have to be aware of that. Now, I would suggest if you've been out the game for more than 15 plus years, I would definitely suggest maybe starting off with a class at a community college, so that way you can get back into the swing of things. So if you do later on decide to get into an accelerated program, you'll have some sort of idea how things work, and then you'll be able to get your groove back at a nice pace. Solution number 2 to the second kind: simply get things in order as best as you can. Call on the people that you depend on within your family to help you and make some adjustments. Now, sometimes that may be easier said than done, and I understand that. But if you have a husband, or if you have a wife, or if you have immediate family, I would definitely see if they could step in and be a help, and just let them know that, hey, I'm trying to make this big change. I'm trying to get back in school. I'm trying to get back on my grind. I need some help. There's going to be some changes, and I would say just make sure you have all of your ducks in a row as much as possible before you start school again. All right, now let's get into the positives of going to school as an older person, because I do believe there are way more positives than there are negatives, and we are all about solutions at this channel. So let's get into it. Pro number 1, you already know what you want. You know what you want. You know what you're setting out for. You know the prize. You know what you want to do. You already know what you want. You're not sitting here trying to decide like younger people, like, oh, I don't know if I want to do this. I don't know if I want to go to school for picking flowers. I don't know if I want to be an art major. You like, nah. I see how these nurses is living. I see how they got it popping. I see all that stuff. This is what I want to do. So the advantage of being somebody that's older, you've been tested, you've been tried, and you know, okay, I'm ready to get into this game. You may be a CNA that's been around the game for a minute, and you're like, you know what? If that dumb broad can do it, I can do it. So you know what you want, and you're simply going for it, you dig? Now, pro number 2. It may be easier for you to financially get into the nursing game, for you to go to school. Now, here's the thing. I would like to assume that at an older age, people will be a little bit more savvy with their money, with their finances, and their savings. But things happen. Nobody is perfect. But as an older person, I feel you do have an advantage on going to school later in life, because you may have more paper than a person that's going straight out of high school. You know, normally most people out of high school, they get into student loans, so they go in with a whole bunch of debt. Sometimes they have to work and all that kind of stuff, and they can't really focus on school. Not to say that that won't be the case for somebody that's older, But if you are older and you understand and you prep and you prepare, you're like, okay, I've been doing some research. I know it costs this much to go to this school. Let me put some things in order, or let me save my bread for about a year so I can pay for the first semester, if not the whole thing, because I don't really want to take out a student loan. Or I can get this set up here so I can get my payment plans in order, so that way I'm not in crazy debt. There are just all types of advantages I feel as an older person you can go with if you decide to go back to nursing school at a later age, because you put some paper to the side, or you may have more experience than somebody who's younger with money. So just remember that as a pro to why going to nursing school at a younger age may be a good deal. Pro number 3. In most cases, you as an older adult know how to prioritize things. You know how to put things in order. You know how to say, okay, this is the most important to the least important. Sometimes younger people don't know what's up. I'm just keep it real. Sometimes younger people don't know what's up. They trying to decide if I really want to get this education, or if I really want to stick around with this bum because he got dreams of being a rapper and I want to stick with him, but he ain't that talented, but I love him so much and I want to be with him. That's young people-ish. Usually with older people, they like, look, I already know I'm established. He's this, I'm that, or she's this, I'm that. I'm about to go to school. This is the top priority. These are the low priorities. Let's get it in order. Let's get it popping. I'm ready to go to school. I'm ready to be a nurse. I'm tired of just sitting here watching High Value Nurse channel and not doing nothing about it. It's 2023. I'm ready to go to school. This is the top priority. Point blank, period. And that is another pro that I feel is important when you are going back to school as an older student. You simply know how to prioritize better. Pro number 4. You are motivated. You may be at a dead-end job. You may be at a job with no growth. You may be at a job where this B got one more time to talk crazy to me and I'm ready to smack this out of her. Real talk. You're motivated. You're like, no, I'm not going to go to jail, because if I go to jail, I can't get into nursing school. I can't do that. So let me just do what I got to do. Stay focused, because I want to go to nursing school. You're super motivated. You're highly motivated. I'm going to get this done, because if she keep trying me, I'm going to catch a case, ladies and gentlemen. Or if he keep trying me, I'm going to catch a case. Let me just do what I got to do so I can finish school or get into school and become the nurse that I knew I was always destined to be. She got one more time to try me, or I'm going to snatch her by that wig. I've heard these conversations several times. Let me just go ahead and be a nurse, because I ain't got time for this. I've heard this several times over and over again, and that motivates you. It might be a negative motivation, but it does motivate you. Point blank, period. And I mean, hey, whatever it takes to get it done. Just don't go to jail. Do what you got to do. And that is another reason why you may have an advantage on going back to school as an older person, because sometimes younger people, they're not as motivated. Oh, I'm 18. I want to turn up, party. I'm 20, 21. I just, I want to get lit. I'm trying to smash girls. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to smash whoever. I just want to get lit, bruh. That's cool. Parents got me. I'm straight. You dig what I'm saying? I'm good. No. As an older adult, you see, okay, this is not it. Let me go ahead. I'm motivated. Let's start school and do what we supposed to do. And pro number 5 of going back to school as an individual who may be slightly older. Let's just face it. You got more wisdom. You have more wisdom. You have more wisdom, ladies and gentlemen. Now, it just is what it is. It's really not up for debate. I'm not saying that younger people cannot be wise, but I would like to think, as a functioning adult, as Andrew Tate would say, as a functioning adult who has been around the block a couple times, got some experience under his or her belt, you know what I'm saying? I would like to find that you may be more wise than the average 18-year-old, because you've been through life, you had life experiences, and you know what's coming. You know all things are not perfect. You know things happen. You know life happens. They think that if one wrong thing happens in their life, the world is over. When you, as an older person, know that that's not the case. It's just a part of life. So wisdom is another reason why you may be a great candidate as an older person to go back to nursing school. And as a bonus to this video, I'm going to give you reasons that you should even consider to go back to school as an older person. Not just the pros and the cons, but here are some good reasons that you should even consider being a nurse as a older student or going to nursing school as an older person. Reason number one, your job impact. You get to help people. I feel like you get a sense of fulfillment because, as you know, I am about the bag. But it does make me feel good when people who were at their lowest point, they come back or they bounce back, and knowing that I had something to do with that, that's always a good feeling. Reason number two, the bag. Let's not even play games. Let's not even play games. Y'all know why. Y'all know what's up. Y'all know what's up. I've done several videos touching on this. Being an LPN is a six-figure career. You can make six figures. It's not even that hard. It's not rocket science. I've done videos on how being an LPN is the fastest way to six figures. I'll probably just leave that in the description or leave it in the comments or wherever. You can click on that. And reason number three, job security. Listen, if you can keep a valid license with no crazy things on your background or anything like that, you pretty much secure with a job for life. You don't have to worry about getting laid off or anything like that. There'll never not be an opportunity to where you can go get a job at any moment if you please. I mean, that's just is real. It is what it is. That's the reason that a lot of people even go into nursing as a second career. They may have gotten laid off, or they may have gotten fired from a career, or something shut down, or the plant ain't it. They tired of working in the plant, because I've had homies hit me up like, hey, I'm tired of this plant life, or they just want something different. Just know that you got job security, point blank period. You have job security. Nursing isn't going anywhere. It's not. People are always going to need nurses, and that's just what it is. Another reason is that it's growing. It's a growing field. It's growing at a rate of 7% according to the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics. And honestly, I think it's higher than 7%, especially with the way people are leaving the field. I think it's a lot higher than that. So listen, look, get into the field. If you are an older person and you are around people that are discouraging you from going back to school because they feel that you're too old, 9 times out of 10, they're projecting how they feel about themselves onto you. And my answer to you is get away from those individuals, because they mean you no good anyway. And I'm just keeping it a being with you. You're never too old to chase a dream. Now, if you're 95 years old and you're trying to play for the NFL, it's probably not going to happen, but that's not realistic. But there have been nurses that have graduated nursing school at 70 and 80 years old. It happens. Google it. I've seen it. I've seen the topics, and I've seen the articles, and I've seen all that. So you're never too old to go to nursing school. You're never too old to upgrade your life, because at the end of the day, the people that you pay rent to, the people that you pay a car note to, your cell phone bill, all the people that you pay bills to, quite frankly, don't care. And even if you're in the nursing home, they're not even working, and they still have to pay bills in some sort of way. So again, if you're not too old to pay bills, you're never too old to upgrade yourself. So until next time, ladies and gentlemen, my name is CJ. Please give this video a like. Let me know what you feel in the comments, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of the content. We going hard in 2023. The $10,000 30-pound nurse challenge is still cracking. Let's get it in. And if you don't know who I am, one more time, my name is CJ, aka the High Value Nurse, checking in once again, back with another video. And until next time, if you don't do nothing else, get paid. Young nurse, get paid. Peace.